In this video, I'm going to talk about a lot of major spoilers, so if you don't want to hear spoilers, stop the video right here. Alright, I'll break everything down episode-wise, so let's start with episode 1, The Crawl. In episode 1, Holly is talking to an imaginary friend at school. Her teachers see this and find it really strange. And when Ted and Karen argue about Holly's behavior, Holly starts crying. That imaginary friend is actually Henry Creel. But we still don't know why Henry wants Holly. And in episode 2, Vecna will kidnap Holly through a Demogorgon, exactly the same way Will was taken. But as of now, there's no reveal about what Vecna actually wants from Holly. Next, Dustin is not part of the Crawl mission, because when he goes to visit Eddie's grave, the school jocks, Jason's friends, bully him and beat him up. That's why in the trailer we see Dustin with injuries on his face. Because of this, Jonathan replaces Dustin in the Crawl mission. In episode 1, there's also a strange moment where Steve and Jonathan compete to see who can fix the radio tower first, just to impress Nancy. I know it sounds fake, but later in this video I'll show you some Steve, Jonathan, Nancy leaks that sound 100% fake at first, but I'll explain why they actually could be real. But that part is not in the Crawl mission, so we'll get to it later. Moving ahead, in episode 1, Will accidentally sees Robin and Vickie kissing. He gets so shocked that he drops his Coke can. When Robin and Vickie realize Will saw them kissing, Robin just says, "shit." And that moment is extremely awkward for all three of them. After this, I think for the first time, will open up to Robin about his feelings for Mike and his sexuality. Next, when Will is supposed to be part of the Crawl mission, he suddenly learns that the Wheeler house has been attacked by a Demogorgon. I already explained this whole Wheeler house scene in my previous video, but I'll summarize it quickly here. When the Demogorgon breaks into the Wheeler house, Ted tries to attack it with a golf club. But instead, the Demogorgon injures Ted badly. Then it runs upstairs where Karen and Holly are hiding in the bathtub. It eventually finds them. Karen doesn't die, but she gets seriously injured. Holly's fate we find out in episode 2. And here's something interesting. The hint about Ted attacking the Demogorgon with a golf club was already teased in the Target promo ad, where Ted is seen buying a golf club, which means the Discover ad for Nancy and Jonathan probably has spoilers too, like the flamethrower, the pumpkins, and the items Nancy orders. All of these might appear in season 5. Basically, all Stranger Things promo ads always hide some small spoilers. Now, episode 2, in the first 10 minutes, Nancy and Eleven reach the Wheeler house. They find Karen lying on the floor, bleeding heavily. Then the Demogorgon drags Holly into the Upside Down. Eleven goes after her, but ends up getting trapped there. Nancy rushes her parents to Hawkins Memorial Hospital. And inside the Upside Down, Eleven finds Hopper, because Hopper also ended up in the Upside Down by hiding inside a military truck. After all this, imagine how Mike is going to feel when he hears what happened to his entire family. Ted and Karen in the hospital, and Holly kidnapped. It looks like season 5 will be extremely depressing for both Nancy and Mike. These were all the episode 2 leaks. Now the leaks I'm about to tell you next don't have confirmed episode numbers. Dr. K finds a way to control Eleven's powers. We don't know if it's a device or some new method, but if this works on Eleven, then technically it should work on Vecna too, so that raises big questions. I personally think Dr. K might be using the same device we saw in season 4, the Soteria chip that Eleven pulled out of Henry's neck. Because that device stopped Henry from using his powers. Maybe Dr. K found it during the Hawkins lab investigation. If she uses the same device on Eleven, that would explain the teaser shot where Eleven is holding her ears and screaming in pain. Maybe Dr. K is trying to control her powers and it's hurting her badly. This is just my theory though, maybe Dr. K found a different way. Next, Murray Bauman brings groceries and a ring for Jonathan, so Jonathan can propose to Nancy. And now the leak I'm about to say will sound unbelievable. There's a scene where Steve tells Jonathan that he is not worthy or masculine enough for Nancy. It sounds fake because that would destroy Steve's entire character development. But I have two theories. Maybe Steve says it jokingly in a friendly way, encouraging Jonathan to be better, not insulting him. Maybe the person who leaked it misunderstood the tone. Or Vecna is showing Jonathan a vision using Steve's form, telling him he's not worthy or masculine for Nancy. Vecna has done this to many victims before, so this leak could actually be real. Next, some smaller leaks. Sam Owens will not appear in Volume 1. Mr. Clarke will return, most likely in Episode 3, the Turbo Trap, and there's a scene where Hopper and Joyce talk about how they're going to protect the kids. Now, let me explain one of my personal theory and opinion. With the new leaks showing Ted and Karen injured or unconscious, and the new photos of Max with Mr. What's-It, I think Holly's experience in the Upside Down might be completely different from anything we've seen before. My theory is that Holly won't just be kidnapped. She'll be taken into some kind of dream world created by Vecna, and the people who were flayed in Season 3, all those bodies and minds, could be used as the population of this dream world, completely controlled by Vecna. But Max is the key here. Max isn't dead, so she can pretend to be under control inside that dream world while secretly resisting Vecna's influence. That gives her the ability to help Holly from the inside. And since Ted and Karen are also not dead, Vecna will likely place them inside the dream world too to make Holly feel safe and emotionally attached, so she chooses to stay there. But because Ted, Karen, and Max are all technically alive, Vecna can't fully control them, so the three of them might help Holly escape from Vecna's dream world. This could be a huge emotional arc in Season 5. Now, my opinion, 11 stayed away from the original group for most of Season 4, so I really want her to have more scenes with the original group in Season 5. But in Episode 2 itself, she gets trapped in the Upside Down while trying to save Holly, so I just hope she gets out soon. We still don't know if Collie 8 will return, but I think Collie can be very important, especially when it comes to protecting 11 from the army, because the government thinks 11 is responsible for everything, so Dr. K has been sent to hunt her down. Collie could help 11 by faking her death, just like she used illusions before to help 11 escape the army and focus on defeating Vecna. And I genuinely believe Collie will return. The Duffer Brothers didn't introduce her for no reason. They won't waste her character. Anyway, what do you think about all this? Tell me in the comments.